Welcome to News Now, Alberta. This is Special Ed. Today we're looking at a cop that got caught by Chris Hansen for talking to a 15-year-old boy.
Coming up on Takedown with Chris Hansen.
Holy cow.
In Harford County, Maryland, this man arrived.
Stop! Turn around!
Who he is leaves us all stunned.
Escorting the president, escorting dignitaries from other countries. We're out here trying to catch these guys, then one of our own is that guy.
Because rather than making an arrest, he's the one being arrested.
Do I take your glasses off?
No, I'm good.
Okay. You're smiling. You think it's funny?
No, I don't. I'm just not going to answer any questions. Thank you.
You're going to listen to me. I'm sorry, those cuffs uncomfortable?
I'm fine.
You're a long way from fine.
That is a clip from Takedown with Chris Hansen, where a D.C. police lieutenant was arrested in a child exploitation investigation in Maryland, where investigators allege he exchanged explicit messages with someone he believed was a 15-year-old boy. Chris Hansen joins us this morning with more on this investigation. Chris, first of all, thanks for joining us. Second of all, how'd this all go down?
Well, Steve, it was part of a sting that we did in Harford County, Maryland, for my streaming network, True Blue, our takedown investigation. We go all around the countries, and we collaborate with law enforcement agencies to expose men trying to exploit children. And we have worked in Harford County before, and we're back again. And this particular person, Lieutenant Matthew Mall of the D.C. Metro Police Department, engaged in a chat for 31 days with someone he thought was a 15-year-old boy.
So they were hooking this guy for a month. And for a month, this cop thought he was talking to a 15-year-old boy.
And the exchanges were graphic. Graphic pictures were sent. Pictures of him in his uniform in his office were sent. The chat is too graphic, honestly, in some ways to share here on morning television. But suffice it to say, he knew what he was doing. He said it was wrong. He knew he had a lot to lose, but he did it anyway. And that speaks to the nature of these predators we catch.
You know, Chris, you talked about this being one of the cases that really stood out to you. Was that because of the explicit nature of it? Because I know you've seen a lot over the years and decades.
Sure.
Or was it because this was a member of law enforcement that was involved?
Well, anytime you see a member of law enforcement, and it's happened before, but it's very rare, as it should be. Anytime you see somebody in a position like this, you worry about a couple of things. What is happening if he arrests a young man? What is happening if he is compromised by a foreign government? If he falls into some sort of a honey trap and then a foreign entity has influence over him, he possesses sensitive information about dignitary motorcades, including President Trump's. It raises all kinds of very disturbing issues. And as you can see in the video of the arrest, law enforcement was very careful. We didn't know whether he was carrying his service revolver or any other gun. Obviously, he was licensed to carry. And so the arrest team took him down outside, secured him, and then he came in where I had a chance to talk to him. You saw he didn't say much, but I wasn't going to let him off the hook easily.
Yeah. Chris says right here, this guy can be easily manipulated. This guy could be easily blackmailed for this. And he does do security for the president, and he does, have high clearance, of course. So if you blackmail this guy, you could basically get whatever you want.
I don't know how much you could say more about this right now, Chris, but the location where he was taken down, was he on his way to supposedly meet the person he thought he was conversing with?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you all about it. So he had been chatting from his home, from his police vehicle, from his police office at headquarters, and he was going to our sting house, essentially, a place where he thought this boy was home alone. There's a condominium type complex, and he thought he was going to go take the boy out for a Philly steak sandwich and go back and meet the big monster, as he called it, kind of a racy way of saying that the two would ultimately have a intimate contact with each other.
Chris, I'm curious too, for our viewers out there, obviously they've associated with you to catch a predator from long ago. I was honestly surprised. It seems like that just went off the air a couple of years ago. But tell me about Takedown and what you're doing now.
So Takedown is our Predator investigative series. It's on my streaming network, True Blue. People can check it out at watchtrueblue.com. We also have a YouTube channel. We appear on your parent company, Fox, in New York City from time to time. And we have a couple podcasts now called Predators I've Caught and Have a Seat with Chris Hansen, which are also affiliated with the Fox network. So it's a very busy time for us. We also create a lot of other content, documentaries, for instance, on Roblox and the issues that have been on that very popular gaming platform. But it's a great opportunity for me, Steve, because now we own the content, we own the distribution of the content, but we have this relationship with you guys and others. And so it's a great time to do the important stories that I want to do, and that's what we're up to. So it's great. People can check it out at watchtrueblue.com.
Yeah, I appreciate you putting that out there. And a lot of people appreciate the work that you do, especially protecting the kids out there. You mentioned Roblox. I know that it just seems like there's more inroads right now for predators to intertwine with the children's lives. For the parents out there across the DC, the DMV, what do you tell them to make sure that, their kid isn't the next one that you're trying to catch a future predator involving them?
Well, exactly. They should watch this documentary. It's a 2-hour documentary on Roblox called Dangerous Games. But what I say to parents all the time is that you must have a conversation with your child as soon as they have access to the internet. You tell them at a young age, there are adults on the internet who like to try to trick children. Children don't like to be tricked. And then you have to ratchet up that conversation as they get older and have greater access. But you also have to tell kids that if you are contacted by somebody who makes you feel uncomfortable, and if you make a mistake and give out too much information or provide a picture, like in some of these sextortion schemes, come to me and together we'll fix the problem. Too many times I've sat across parents, Steve, who have lost their child to suicide because the child didn't feel they had a way out. And these kids are so attached to their online profiles, their digital profiles, and their social media platforms that when they do something wrong, when they're embarrassed, it crushes them. And you gotta give them an exit ramp. And you gotta say, look, this looks like the end of the world today, but in 2 weeks, you won't even think about it.
It's a very important talk that literally can save lives. Chris, I appreciate you joining us. Like he mentioned, the website, check out Takedown Chris Hansen. He's working with sheriffs, officials, and law enforcement all over the country, continuing the work that he does best. Thanks, Chris, for joining us this morning. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Steve. Anytime.
Thank you.
So I put in the whole thing and not just the cop being caught, because of course it's an important subject. I didn't know personally that Chris had a new thing going. I knew he had an internet thing going with a bunch of young guys at one point, catching predators, but this seems very interesting. What do you think of this? Let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.